And we are back for another Milk Crate moment. And today, listen, this woman, I just met her, gosh, probably a couple months ago, right? And we've already gotten together in person. She lives in the on the Pacific Coast, and we've already spent a couple days together. And she is fascinating. She's funny, and more importantly, she dresses like a rock star. So please welcome Barbara Bonds.
Hello, Jean. Thank you for having me. Wow. Who are we talking about? I'd love to meet her.
Well, part of the reason, well, I'm going to act like you're not here for just a moment again.
Okay.
And part of the reason I find Barbara Bonds so fascinating was when I saw her Facebook Live post, and she was standing in a crowd on the set of Dancing with the Stars, right? I used to watch it all the time, kind of got away from it, but tell us, I'm going to ask you to tell us about that first before we get into anything, because
Okay.
you're fascinating what you do.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. It's so funny because when I first reached out to Jean, I'm going to talk about you. It's like I reached out and I was like, I'm fangirling on you because I wanted to know more about her. And so I love the fact that like we're mutually fangirling.
Mhm.
And so, okay, so Dancing with the Stars. Here's what you need to know. I have been in television for 30 years, okay? I was a fetus clearly when I started. And so, I was born, and from birth I went to television for 30 years, right? And then
Well,
life was
while you're taking that important
I'm
call.
not I'm not taking that important call. But it's funny that person who's calling is my what I like to call my husband, and he'll be part of my milk crate story. So
He-
anyway, so I've had this amazing career in television. I've won some little awards and all of that thing. But what I've done is I've transitioned, and so I was actually on Dancing with the Stars because I had some of my VIP clients were in town, and that's their favorite show. So of course, I made that part of their VIP experience being in Los Angeles so that they can go and experience the show. And we did a backstage tour and the whole thing. So it's fun to still be able to do those kinds of things and yet helping out my clients at the same time. So that's what that was about. And I got
what's
to be on the dance floor. It was
Yeah,
so
you were on the dance floor when I saw you. Well, what's so fascinating about that, you've been in television for 30 years, but I, on the other hand, have been watching television for over 60 years.
okay. Here's the funny thing is I don't watch a lot of television. It's just like the interior designer. You go to their house and their house is like, okay. Like I don't watch a lot of television. I'll watch it here and there, but it's not something that I spend a ton of time doing.
Well, thank you for being here, and I'm so excited that you could give me a few minutes and to do this. So let's get started
Okay.
because
Good.
I'm because I don't ever know what somebody's milk crate moment is. I think you guys put it on the worksheet that I get, but
Mhm.
okay, I'm not gonna lie, I rarely look at those, right? And so I'm excited to hear this milk crate moment that involves, let me turn mine down now, your husband.
Yes. And I call him my husband, and I don't call him my ex because we actually are really, really good friends. We have developed this. I mean, we were friends. We got married. That didn't work out. We were friends again. And so, and so I prefer to call him my husband because he was my husband.
Yeah.
And so, so that's my little thing. But yes. So, do you want me to just tell you what my milk crate moment is, or you
I
want to?
I tell me, make it an enticing, um, climatic story, television story moment for us.
Wow, no pressure there.
None.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have been in television, like I said, since day one. I mean, I was in my early 20s when I started television. So if any math whizzes out there, You can do some math there. I've been in it for 30 years. So I was producer, and I loved it, and I wanted to tell stories and this, and I've done scripted and unscripted and documentary and everything like that. But there was a time there where I really was burnt out. If I'm going to be totally honest, I'm burnt out. I want to do anything but television. So started my career of trying to be an entrepreneur. And so as I was trying to be an entrepreneur, I did many things. The first thing I did was I created a business, and I named it in Italian because that was smart. I named it Portale dei Sogni, and no one knew what that meant, but it meant Portal of Dreams, right?
Mhm.
So I wanted to be that person to help you make your dreams come true. And so that was something that and it never caught on.
Yeah.
And then I left television one other time, and I was like, and I became a financial advisor. Okay, I had no business being a financial advisor, I have to tell you. But, it was just like, it was one of those things. It was like, I'm going to lean into the thing that I'm not so great at. I'm like going and help other people demystify the whole financial business, financial services.
Yeah.
And I really was working on that, working on that, and working on that. And I got to tell you, I lost everything. I lost everything.
Mm,
And that's not an exaggeration.
sure.
So I lost everything, and I had to. This is like, I don't tell this story. This is so interesting. I had to. I called my husband, and I was like, I'm in trouble here. And so I went and I stayed on his sofa, and I lived on his sofa. My daughter and I, she was going back and forth. So and I lived on his sofa for quite some time.
Wow.
And yeah, but it was one of those moments where you go, okay, something's got to give. Right.
Right.
And so I could lean into it and be sad about it, or I could say this is an opportunity. And that's exactly what I saw it as, was an opportunity. How can I turn this around? How can I really make this work? And so part of it was like, okay, go back to television. That's, that was my thing that I knew that I could always go back to. And so I did. And I built back up and built back up and built back up. And then I was like, wait a second. I got certified as a life coach. I was doing that for a while. And then 2020 hit. And then I was like, I'm going to lean in, and I'm going to like integrate the two things that I do, life coaching now and television, and help people build a business and become visible. How do you do that? And so that's what I did. And at first it was slow go and building and building and building. But I always, in the back of my head, have got that sofa in the back of my head, because I'm in the moment, it felt like a failure to
Sure.
me. Right. And
Yeah.
so that was always talking to me. The story I was telling myself was that I was a failure, and that if I try anything else, I'm going to end up on the sofa.
Mm.
And so, and that was a hurdle to get over. I had to say, because that was kind of like a constant conversation that was happening. And I help all my clients with the story they're telling themselves, right?
Right.
And so I was like, so how do I shift this? So it became not only about the story I was telling myself, but what was the story that I needed to tell so that I could help people really do what they wanted to do. So ultimately, it's still, what is the dream, right? And I can help you make your dreams come true, but from a different vantage point. You have a question?
I do have a question, because I want to know the story, right, that you needed to tell yourself.
Yeah. The initial story, the failure story, or the new
Well,
story?
I know, not well, the failure story. I know, I understood that it's felt
Yeah.
like a failure, right? And I was really actually happy to hear that, because for a moment I thought it was going to be like your plan B, right? And as an entrepreneur, you can never have a plan B,
Right.
right? So I was glad to hear you say that you felt like it was a failure, because now you have to take changes, you have to make plans to change that in order to feel like a success, right? Or get
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Right.
So now, what's that story you're not telling yourself?
Right. And so the funny thing was, um, there was a choice point, right? At
Hmm.
that, I got to a choice point. Do I continue down this road of financial services, or do I pivot?
Hmm.
And, while I'm never a quitter, you need to know when something's working
Right.
and you have to pivot and shift. Okay. And so that's what I did. So the new story, the reframe was that whether or not I had to go and do a couple of other TV shows did not lessen the fact that I ultimately was going to build a business and be an entrepreneur. But I could use the TV show as my angel investor, as my loan, if you will, that I
Sure.
didn't have to pay back.
Right.
And so I went back to TV for a while, but at the same time, so what I did differently was I was building while I had this angel investor known as television. And that's what I did. Go
You
ahead.
Yeah, you know what? That is so brilliant, Barbara, because so many people start a business and there's only one option. I either succeed or I fail, and then I go back and get a job, right?
Right,
And you took that to a whole different level of, look, I'm willing to take a job to reinvest in myself in order to get to where I want to go. And you're right, it's a loan that you never have to pay back, right?
right.
So I knew there was something about you I liked. Go ahead, keep going.
So then the story started going, it was like going, okay, instead of being scared of the sofa, right? Because I
Right.
call it a sofa. Instead of being scared of the sofa, of going back there, use the sofa as fuel so that you can build this business.
Yeah.
And so that sofa is always in the back of my head. And that's the story I started telling myself. It's like, you are better than this. And this was an opportunity. You wouldn't be who you are today without the sofa moment, right?
Right. Right.
Because now I can relate to my clients in a different way. It wasn't all like, oh, I went from this amazing career as a television producer to this amazing career as an entrepreneur. No, because it wasn't a straight line. But
It
it
never
really,
is.
it never is. Yes. But that was kind of a learning thing for me,
Yeah.
right? Because I thought it was like, I'll just step into it and it'll be great. And that wasn't necessarily the case.
Mm. Okay, keep going. You're doing a great job.
So the new story I started telling myself was that in order for me to be this person, I needed to experience that. And that was really important. And that's such an important thing for people to be aware of. Like, your failures are learning opportunities. It's an opportunity to grow and expand, and not necessarily to be stuck. And so I slowly, like I said, I got certified in a bunch of different things, because something told me I had to get certified in all these things, right? That was my mindset. But what I realized is, how can I really help people lean into that thing that they have, that it factor,
Mhm.
right? Because a lot of people don't really realize that they have an it factor. And so I want them to, like, really harness that and then put themselves out there, all the while helping them build a business, but become visible. And there are so many different ways to be visible. This is a way to become visible, right? Doing
Sure.
some of these podcasts, um, going live on Facebook. People keep thinking visible. Yeah, you can do TV appearances, and I can help people with that, but it doesn't have to be as big as a TV appearance. Visibility is going to networking events, writing a book, and then going out and doing a press tour. There are lots of different ways to become visible in a small way or in a large way. And so I help people with that. And along the way, helping them build their business and learn how to speak and communicate. And so that, and as I was building these things out for myself, I became my first client, clearly. It's like, how do I do this? How do I build a business? How do I make money? How do I put myself out there? And always with the sofa looming. I can do this. The sofa had to be there because it makes me want to succeed every day, is
Absolutely.
thinking about that sofa. Yeah.
How many times have you seen people though who tell you, "Oh, Barbara, I don't want to be seen. I want to be a business owner, but I don't need to be seen. I'm not looking for any stardom. I'm not looking to be the celebrity of my business. I just want to go out and do my business and make some money and live a happy life." How many times do people tell you that?
All the time. All
Yeah,
the time.
all the time.
People are like, and what they don't realize, being the celebrity of your business is just putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
It's not, you do not have to do a TV appearance, but
Right. Right,
if
right.
people don't know you, they can't work with you. People
Exactly.
are looking for you. They just haven't found you yet because you haven't put yourself out there. And
Yes.
visibility could be as small as like, hi, calling people it's like, let's do a coffee Zoom together. I mean, that's visibility too.
Right.
You're getting visible. You're communicating, connecting with another human being. And visibility could be as little as that, as small as that, or as large as, being on a stage, being on a morning show, doing something like that. So visibility, I think the word visibility scares people,
Mhm.
especially introverts. I have a lot of clients who are introverts, and a lot of it is about working from the inside out. It's
Right.
like you have a fear of being visible. And so let's deal with that first. Like, what is the core issue here about visibility? Is it making you feel like it's dangerous? Are you afraid of it? Are you scared of judgment? There's something there
Mhm.
behind it when you don't want to be visible. And I'm not saying you have to be the next Instagram influencer star either,
Right.
right? I'm
Right.
just saying being in front of the right people so that more and more people know what you do and can hire you so you can make ultimately more money.
Yeah, it's just always so interesting when people tell me that, and my people tell me that too, Barbara, that they don't need to be the celebrity of their business. Because I always talk about being the celebrity of your business. Look, I never wanted to be seen either. I never wanted to be in front of the camera. I never want. Are you kidding? Bring it on, baby. Right?
Yes,
Like, because I understand that the more I'm out there, the more I put my personality out there, the more that I say, the more opinions that I give, right? I'm
yes.
attracting one listen, we're so divided at this point in our country, right?
Mhm.
That you have to speak with your truth in
Yeah,
order to attract your people, right?
exactly.
Because they're not everybody's your people.
No, you want to repel people.
You
That's what people
do.
don't understand. You want to, because they're not your right people. Because if
Right.
the more you accept people into your world that aren't your right people, I'm telling you, it's going to give you agita at the end of the day.
It's going
Because
to give you
they're
what?
agita.
Oh, is that like a sofa story?
No, agita is like, um, what's the best? It's like heart. It's like ugh. It's like the ugh factor, like someone who gives you
Okay.
heartburn, who gives you, it's like, so it's very funny. But yeah, it repelling people is just as important as attracting people.
Yes.
And people don't, when you speak to everybody, you speak to no one. You
Exactly.
have to speak to one person. And I really, I teach my clients, let's figure out who that one person is
Right.
and give them a name and always talk to that person.
Exactly, but I also think too is go out
Mhm.
there and don't be afraid to offend somebody, right?
Oh my God,
So
yes.
that if let people know who you are and what you stand for, and if you do that well without being disrespectful to the people you're offending, They'll be offended. Listen, we don't have an offense problem in this country, right? People are offended for any stupid thing out there.
Yeah,
But if you're not afraid to offend them and
yeah,
just go, "Oh, thank you for raising your hand. You're not my people. I will
right.
move on to my people now." Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Ah,
just think more people need
you
to do that.
you have to stand for something
Yes, or you fall
because
for everything.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not about just like blending in.
No.
It really isn't, because the more you blend in, fine, like then nothing's going to happen. But the truth is, this is, I mean, I'm talking to business owners and entrepreneurs. It's like coaches and consultants. If you want to build a business, this is what you need to have a point of view. You need to put yourself out there, and you need to get visible. And you really do kind of need to be the celebrity of your business. You want to be that go-to person.
I just had a really great idea. What would be a good analogy for not standing out? So hold on one second.
Okay.
This is an analogy on how you don't stand out. And I'm sorry that it puts you in the box. But honestly, I'm not going in the box. So hold on.
Exactly. Right. That's very true. That
Yeah.
is a great analogy of not standing out. And here's the other thing. And I heard this from a coach that you know as well. You've got to steal the show. No
Yes.
matter where you go,
Right.
you have to steal the show. And what does that mean?
I don't
See,
know. I'm stealing the show.
she's stealing the show, guys. That's exactly right. Steal the show, because we're so busy being nice and we don't want to show up as a certain way that we don't steal the show
Right.
and we don't take center stage, right? And your business needs to take center stage. Like what you just did, was you took center stage.
I
And
absolutely
that's what
did.
you have to do for your business without apology. Without apology.
Exactly. Oh, this is fascinating. I would, and I first of all, number one, I want you to come back another time, right? Not in the new far soon, right?
Okay.
Today is January 31st. I don't know about you, but I am having trouble with words today. I don't know about you, but they are eluding me for for some reason. But okay,
Words
so
are hard.
words are hard, right? That's why you have to do this so nobody notices,
Exactly.
right?
That's
Sorry,
so
Barbara.
funny.
I can't stop now that I've started
Now you started, that's it. Watch out, anybody who comes on the show, because she's stealing the show.
stealing the show, right?
But here's the
And
deal, you even creating this is you stealing the show. You've
absolutely.
created opportunities for you to steal the show, to be invisible, bringing guests, delivering something value to your audience. This is amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And listen, and there's nothing I like more than bringing to my audience people like you, right? People
Mm.
like you who know what's going on out there, who knows that you need to stand out, that no, but and I'm just felt so lucky that I met you, right? Because a regular business owner doesn't get it. A television producer totally gets it.
Yes. Yeah. It's
So
very true.
so I know today you had let me go back and get it. So where's it at up here? I think. So you had today asked me to put up like people can schedule a call with you, a
Yes.
famous television producer. By the way, what award did you win?
I won an Emmy and a Peabody. Those are the ones people know. And then I have some other Telly awards and
Wow.
yeah.
Yay. Yay, you. All right. So, award winning. Listen, you guys, I've got her calendar link, right? So, you can schedule a call with an award winning television producer and life coach. Have you won any life coach awards?
No, no,
Yeah,
not
me
like
either.
Coach Word yet. No.
Me, I
No, but here's the thing is I combine the two. I'm really like going, I'm helping people really build the business of their dreams and put themselves in front of the right people. And I'm having a ball. I really am.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Let's put that out there for people to see.
Okay, yes.
Okay,
So, yeah,
there we
there you
go.
go.
And oh,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm gonna hold on one second, Barbara. I am going to drop that. Hold on one second. I don't want to hide it. I think I have to give me one second. I think I have to copy it here. So let's save that here. And then I'm going to put this in our chat. Hopefully it goes right to the chat inside Restream or on your social media or wherever that's at.
Perfect,
And I think
perfect.
I'm going to also think I'm gonna also grab your other link. So while
Yeah.
I'm grabbing your other link, tell us about what is the Barbara Bonds stand.store.
Okay, so I'm in the process of revamping things because I have a website bondscreative.com, but I'm in the process of revamping things. So this stand store thing is like your interim thing. You'll have some freebies on there. I'm going to be doing a pop-up workshop called The Inside Out, How to Be Seen, Be Heard, and Be Paid. And so I'm going to put up new dates for that. It's probably going to be next Tuesday, which is February 6th at noon Pacific time. So it's going to be a pop up. If you have any kind of like fear about becoming being visible, anything like that. We're going to work for about 90 minutes on what it's like to go from the inside out and really
Mm,
quelling anybody's fears and some tactics for you to really get started in your visibility journey.
I love that. I
Mhm.
love that. All right, I want you to come back another time and we'll talk about something other than a milk crate moment. Although as an entrepreneur, if
Yes,
you're not having a milk crate moment a month, are you really in business? I think that's going to be my new tagline.
I love that. That's
I think
really good because it's true. Well, that was my big milk crate moments. I have milk crate moments every month.
yeah, yeah, me
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
So I love it. So if you're not having a milk crate, if you don't have a milk crate moment, are you really even in business? Thank you for being here today. I
Thank
so
you for
appreciate
having me.
you.
I love you so much.
I love you so much too. And I will see you soon. And you guys check out Barbara Bonds. Make sure you go check out her Barbara Bonds stand store. Well, it's actually stand.store/Barbara Bonds. And then schedule a call with her, right?
Yeah.
And listen, create a new award for her and give her another award, right? Give her another award. And
I
then give me an award. Just saying.
yeah.
Okay. All right, Barbara. We
Okay.
thank you so much. Hang around after this call, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
everybody.